All right, guys, if you're looking for comedy, the Netherlands, and some alien zombies, yeah, that's what we got in this movie, and it's at Fantasia, so let's check it out. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing another spoiler-free review of a Fantasia 2025 film that I was curious to check out called Straight Outta Space, aka Straatcoaches versus Aliens, but that's kind of the Netherlands title, and then this is the Straight Outta Space is kind of what they're going for, which I think is a step up in the right direction. It's a good name because it gives the movie sort of a coolness factor, and it lets people know that it's sort of a joke and a comedy. Also, I don't know what the hell a street coach is, or a straatcoach, which I had to look up, and I found out that these are like social workers that are literally kind of spread out through all the cities to kind of do good, help out the neighborhoods, and help out, you know, kids with goodwill. They're basically just social workers that try to make the city a better place. These guys are anything but. The two guys that are in this movie that team up are street coaches that are taking care of their neighborhood by getting drunk and partying and having a good time, even being friends with the local drug dealer. So it's a pretty interesting combination of social work. But an unexpected crisis happens when a meteorite lands on Earth and transforms people into bizarre, slimy, zombie-like aliens that spit blue stuff out of their mouths, and they team up with a bunch of crazy residents in this city to kind of fight off and figure out what is going on and if this is an invasion. And that's one thing I really like about this movie, is that we get a lot of different types of characters from all different walks of life in this movie that team up together, and, you know, like police officers, the kids that are partying, other kids who are even more partying than those guys, and then, you know, like just a ragtag group of fun individuals that are out to have a really good laugh as they battle the apocalypse, essentially. It's got a really good look. This is a big budget film that Amazon Prime picked up in the Netherlands, and I think they paid for it to get it made. But I'm only assuming this because I saw it in the credits. It said, you know, Amazon Prime or whatever, or Prime Movies or whatever. So it's probably coming to Amazon Prime Video at some point in time here in the near future. So you might want to keep an eye out for that. This is just my assumption. I wasn't told this. It just makes sense. This movie is definitely a bigger budget film, and it has that polish and sheen of it. I hate to say this, and, you know, I gotta compare it to things to give you guys kind of an idea of what I think of the movie. It did remind me a lot of Attack the Block. Like, a lot. It has almost the same similar kind of DNA to it, because it's got its party kids and, like, you know, fighting the apocalypse. I would say this is a little bit on the lighter side of that movie. It's not like a graphic, gory movie, but there is some moments in this film that they do have their blue explosions and things that are kind of fun in this movie. But yeah, it definitely does not shake that vibe that it is Attack the Block, only it's a different thing, you know. They're trying to protect their neighborhood in the same way. They don't like their neighborhood, but then come to terms with it, which is very similar to Attack the Block, just in the Netherlands. The creature work in this movie was actually pretty cool. I like what they did with the characters. They kind of like black out their eyes and stuff. It wasn't scary or anything like that. It wasn't extremely violent either. So this isn't like a gore fest, but it is in a way when you kind of look at it, because the blood and stuff that's in it is kind of like purple or blue, and they can kind of get away with a few things. So it kind of like Nickelodeon up the gore factor in it. There's like a scene at the very end of the movie that made me laugh pretty hard, but I did enjoy it. I didn't think it superseded my expectations or anything. It was kind of just there. It is a easy watch, by the way. So if you're looking for like a sci-fi fantasy comedy that you might just want to pop on and you're in the mood for, this is definitely an easy watch. I would definitely say that I was expecting a little bit more from this movie, and it gets started really well. So it like kicks off into this world like immediately, which I loved the pacing of this film. It really has a really good pace, although it does dip in about the third act situation, which does happen in these types of movies because you have to have all these different issues with all the different characters. One of the guys that's a street coach is, you know, trying to grow up and move out. The other one doesn't know that he's moving out and deciding to get older, and they said they were going to be street coaches for life. You know, it's like a family to them. And then they team up with this drug dealer girl who's like their best friend and they always party with, meet a bunch of extra people, including this old lady who was really funny in the movie. And she's like a neighbor lady who joins their crew. And then there's like a police officer that joins their crew, and it's just wild because such a very different group of people put together, which makes it even more fun. It definitely has a hard time shaking some of its more, you know, popular films that I would compare it to, and it did have some pretty good jokes in the movie that made me laugh, but I didn't laugh too much. It wasn't like the funniest film I've seen all year. It definitely did put me in a good mood, and I had a good time with it. And some of the jokes that they made are kind of dark, but they're also just kind of silly too. So a fun movie to watch, and it's not a bad one at all. So I'd probably give this one like a 7 out of 10. If I had to compare it, I would probably say I like Attack the Block a little bit more, but I feel like that movie probably had more money too. You know, like that one had a lot more money than this one did, but this one really does a good job of making it big, having a big city full of stuff that's going on, and they did have a good budget for this one. So it is a pretty easy watch, like I said. The director of this movie is Michael Middlecoop, who is no stranger to comedy. He's done quite a few other things in the genre. He did This Is Not a Christmas Movie, and then a horror movie called Trauma Porn Club, which was a TV movie in the Netherlands, which is interesting. I wonder how horrific it gets there, but yeah, I don't know. 7 out of 10 seems to be about the right number here. It could be less or more depending on what you think of the comedy, which is so, you know, up to you, you know, but I thought it was fun. It was what I expected from this kind of movie. If you watch the trailer, you know immediately what you're getting into. So that's why I say it's, you know, about a 7 on the nose right there for me out of 10. So it's not one that I'll put on all the time, but you know, hey, Attack the Block didn't please me right away at first either. And eventually I started rewatching that movie more and more. So maybe this will be one of those movies I'll watch with it. But yeah, like I said, it should be coming to streaming services for Prime at some point in time here in the near future. I would assume if it's not here in America at the same time over there, it might be already over there and we're just now seeing it in America. So I don't know. Thank you very much, Straight Outta Space, and everybody that worked on the film. Congratulations. And also thank you to Fantasia Film Festival for allowing me to be a part of this festival this year. I've had a blast so far, and we're getting to the end where I have about, I don't know, 5 or 6 more movies that I need to kind of talk to you guys about, and then we're done. I would love to hear what you guys think about this kind of movie. Is this something that sounds like it's up your alley? Would you love to watch it? And are you going to be on the lookout for it when it comes to the streaming? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button and that little bell notification because we got movies. We're going to have a couple videos up today just alone, and it's going to be kind of busy for the next couple of days, and then I got some big stuff coming up. Let me know what you think. Thanks for coming by, and as always, long live the void.